Avoid these 5 questions when you're selling a lake home. Why? It's just going to muck things up. You're not going to like the answers. What you're asking isn't necessarily what you think it is. So what do I mean by that? So you put your home on the market, you ask your real estate agent after 3 or 4 weeks, how many views did my listing get online? Well, here's the problem with that question. One, that's not really what you want to know. And even if they gave you an answer, if it was a really big number, you go, well, those websites must not be good. If it's all those people, they're not serious. Or it's very few numbers, you go, well, your website must not be very good. It's not getting enough traffic. The real number of views you want for a property is 1, the person who's actually going to buy it. But you may have to still say, well, odds are better if we have a lot of views. That's true, and that's why we have millions of people use our website to do transaction. But the real reason a seller will ask, how many views did it get, isn't how many views. They want to know why they're not getting more action on their property. Are we not getting showings? Are we not getting offers? Is no one even calling about it? And that's the real question. So sellers will start to think, well, what could it be? Is it the marketing? Is it the photos? Is it the websites? The reality is well-published, well-syndicated properties that are on sites, not just the main portals, but millions of people looking at lakehomes.com, those properties are being seen. It's a price issue. Price fixes everything. I know people don't want to hear that, but if it's been seen by a few people or thousands and you get no action, they know it's there. They know it's for sale. The action is the market speaking. Let's go to the next one. Maybe you've moved forward and you've got an offer. It's not an offer like you wanted. Or maybe you even buy and you made an offer and they come back with an offer, not even close. And you say the question, should we counteroffer? In negotiation, you always counteroffer. Why? Because no counteroffer kills it. Bounce the ball back, keep it moving, don't take it personal. To say, should we counteroffer says, should we quit? Or are we trying to sell or buy? What are we trying to do? We're trying to get a deal done. So keep a discussion going, work through it, change the deal. It might not just be price. It could be property. It could be furniture. It could be when it closes. There are different variables you can move, but always counteroffer. Keep the discussion going. I guess there is one exception, not counteroffer, when you're dealing with somebody who's seriously mentally ill. But beyond that, and bless their heart, that's the one kind you shouldn't. Okay. Now another question. You're listing your home for sale. You look at the agent and go, can you, or I want you to co-list with my cousin, my sister-in-law. Maybe it's your boss's wife. What are you really asking here? You're basically saying, I want to hire you to do all the work, but when I pay you, I want you to give a lot of your money to this person who's not only not involved in the transaction, who brings no value to help you do your job, but now you got to deal with him. Your broker has to pay him. That's not really a fair question. It's kind of like, hey, I want you to come work for my company, and when I send you a paycheck, I want you to pay my cousin Bill. Why? Well, because, he's in your industry too. No, that's taking advantage. If you don't feel your agent is worth it, then don't hire them. Or if you want, let's say your niece has just gotten into real estate and you want to help her out. That's the phrase. I want to hire my niece or co-list with my niece, so to help her out. You know what would really help her? Get more money for your house and write her a good check. She could use that, and it would be maybe not the learning experience, but they could use that money for training. The next question is, you're looking at listing. This is usually a question from people selling their houses, is, well, if they don't already know, well, where is your office? Well, here's the deal. This is not really a question about where the office is. You either kind of know where it is or you could figure it out. This is a question of you're interviewing an agent to do business with, and you want to feel like you've vetted the agent. So you're just thinking up things to ask that seem like reasonable questions that really don't matter. And here's why I'm saying where the office is doesn't matter. There are lots of offices today that are great for people. It's social, but there are tons of agents across the country, including ours, who operate in a more virtual, high-tech world. And they do that and they're successful at it because the buyers for these properties don't want to come to an office. They'll do it if you ask them. What they really want to do is go see the property. So, I say that a buyer from out of town will come to an office for 2 reasons. 1, the agent asks them to and they want to be polite and do what they're told. Or 2, they need to go to the restroom. It's been a long trip. So this question of, well, where's your office? And the same thing, a related question is, does your brokerage have a lot of agents? Again, this is kind of a filler question in an interview for an agent to make you feel better. Well, if this is an office with a lot of agents, it must be a really good brokerage, a really good office. When the reality is, in this past year, there are reports that 70% of the agents haven't done a transaction in the last year. and a lot of them go to an office or part of a bigger brokerage. That's another filler question. What you really want to do instead of where is the office or how many agents are in your brokerage, what you really want to ask if you're interviewing somebody when you're selling a lake home, you want to ask them about their effectiveness. How are they going to differentiate themselves from, and help your property differentiate itself from the competition? And how can you have faith in that? What does that agent do that's really different than their competition? That's what you're really wanting. These other questions are filler, and they're things you should just avoid. So if you're selling lake home, I hope this information is helpful. There are a lot of other great questions. You can visit us at lakehomes.com, and in addition to having tens of thousands of properties all across the country for sale right now, up-to-date listings, we also have agents all across the country. Those on the website are licensed with us, and they can help you navigate. They're experts at getting buyers from distant location as well as close. They can help you navigate this when it's time to sell your property, or if you're trying to find your next dream home at the lake. Hope this has been helpful. Thank you and have a great day. For more information, be sure to check out lakehomes.com.